ourselves, are we doing the right thing? When we are in our offices, are we putting in the right policies? Are we making sure that we are explaining our contracts correctly to our clients? So again, it's a continuous area for us to develop and make sure we have the right policies in place. I think let's hear from our second panelist, who will discuss the issue of consumer protection, a regime entrenched regulations to safeguard the consumer. And as I said, the reason why we are here is the issue of the consumer. So whatever we say ultimately must touch on the consumer and ensure that we are able to serve them for our ability to survive, especially the species called an insurance broker. It's an endangered species and needs to make sure that they are able to protect themselves using the skills that are developed. Mr. Solomon Rubondo.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. The microphone is not very kind with me, but we will try to cope. Thank you very much for the opportunity, Mr. Commissioner, sir. Thank you very much for the opportunity. I'll straight away go into the subject as was assigned. The power of an inclusive insurance market is a topic we are discussing this morning. And to get into the subject, over the next 7 slides, I will be looking at the areas, and I chose to point a gun to ourselves to ask that we have nothing to do. They are there, they are the regulations we have to follow. They told us the law is not what you want. And therefore, for those of us who support and oppose, have got to obey the regulation. Glad that the regulator is here, and he'll appreciate the sentiments. With a gun on our head, we ask, who is the consumer when we talk about a consumer? When we're preparing for Holy Communion, the prayers link us with the living and the non-living. That we are taking Holy Communion, and then also looking at those who went before us and encouraging those who come after us. If we get consumer protection right, then we do understand the person we have insured and the one we have not insured. I'm looking at all this together as being in one bus, and that is a regime. Where is regulation coming from? The previous presenter has told us, but where is it going? I'm glad in his own words he said some are good, some are not good, but they are what they are. We have to move. By looking at our consumer, the past, the present, and the one to come, we also need to carry the regulator along. And this takes a bit of pain, and that's why it's a trigger. That please focus on this with a feeling of the threat of your survival. And looking at these consumers, are we operating in a demand-driven or supply-driven regime? Is penetration an excuse? Is penetration a platform for us to stand on? Do we have enough products on the market? Are they suitable? That it is the buyers who have not come? Or is there demand on the other side? Do we jump when the banks say they are lending money? Or do we jump when the Ministry of Work says everybody must have third party? Then why is our penetration where it is? Have we answered the question? Those who have lived with me, there are some words I don't want to hear. And I tell my colleagues, by continuous regurgitation of, our penetration is at 0.8, to me, it is a confession of defeat, a statement of self-condemnation. I want to hear someone say our target is 99.2%. Because if everybody is entitled to health care, everybody is entitled to insurance protection. The slogan session in Uganda says, promote insurance, protect the future. And I find it very inspiring. Recently at a function, our regulator, Alhaji Kadunabi, said, we blame the level of penetration on limited awareness. But research has also proved it is 60%. The lack or low level of deliberateness on the part of insurers to put products on the market that will endear customers. Probably that's why we have as many who are still out there. It's a conference for discussion, for expert. And it's important to understand then, how do we understand a customer? I have found this reflection very touching.